By default in GraphQL, each resolver will execute synchronously. And when I say that, I basically mean that each resolver will wait until the previous resolver has completed before it can execute. And that happens because all of the resolvers will share the Tomcat thread. So for example, this assets resolver will wait until the client resolver has completed, even though it does not depend at all on this client, on these client fields. So one way we can improve that within GraphQL is to go ahead and introduce asynchronous processing with our resolvers. So what we do is, instead of returning your object, we return your completable future of that type. And I'm going to execute this client resolver inside my defined executor service. So you can basically execute this however you like. And what I'm going to do is just return a completable future of that returning that client, and that's going to execute inside this executor service. And I'm going to bring the log message down, and I'm going to put a wee message here so I can stop if I decide to debug. So now let's debug here. I'll put a breakpoint here, and also within the bank account class. So let's go ahead and debug this. So you'll see now the bank account, this is executing in NIO. So this is the Tomcat thread. So that's expected. And now when I play, you'll see that we're still in the NIO thread. But what we're going to do is we're going to now return the completable future. And we're going to say, okay, at some point in the future, we are going to return you the data. And we're actually going to execute that logic within our own defined executor service, as we see. So pull to thread 1. So that's really nice. And why this is really good is because, as I showed you in my last example here, we have client and assets. Well, if they don't depend at all, if they don't depend on each other, and you're running a nice machine, maybe you've got some Hy-V, or you've got some CPUs, or you've got enough space in Kubernetes for your virtual CPUs. Well, what you can do is you can make them both return completable futures. So for example, the assets resolver also is now asynchronous. Client resolver is now asynchronous. And because they don't depend at all on each other, if we make a request, well, both of these will be executed in parallel by GraphQL and not block and wait and depend on each other. So we go ahead and we click play. You'll see now the query is executed. And here, if we go to our threads, you'll see that the thread pool 2 is executing for the client, and in thread pool 1 we're executing for the assets. So that's pretty nice. Both got going at the same time. So I hope this is one wee tip how you can play about with some asynchronous processing in GraphQL and have some fun. And it's nice if you tune your thread pools, and it's obviously really nice if you can execute in different thread pools, because you get the nice isolation there. You can have timeouts on the logic, on the requests going over the wire. Also, you can control how many parallel executions you have, how many concurrent executions you have to certain services or certain pieces of logic, which is really, really important and adds massive benefits. So, hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial, and I will see you in the next episode.